Today on Fresno State Focus, we have updates on the FAFSA application and where to find scholarships for the upcoming school year.
Also, we take a look at how volunteers are picking up the phone, helping to get more people vaccinated.
Plus, we hear reactions from fans cheering on the San Francisco Giants and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Fresno State Focus starts now. Hello and welcome to Fresno State Focus. I'm Brooke Chow.
And I'm Ana Cruz Lopez. The Higher Education Emergency Relief Fund, better known as the HERF grants, is now going out to students. At the start of this week, grants from categories 1 and 2 will be dispersed by student accounts and refunded to students through the Fresno State's reimbursement account called Bank Mobile. Students who fall into category 3 will get their money during the week of October 18th. Fresno State encourages students to use that money towards COVID-related expenses.
It's that time of year again, Bulldogs. It's time to start applying for scholarships. Fresno State is offering over 500 unique scholarship opportunities that cover a wide variety of backgrounds and diversity. There's something for everyone. All you need to do is fill out your general application. The application period for scholarships started on October 1st and ends on March 2nd.
The FAFSA application period is now open. That's the free application for federal student aid, and it can be confusing. I talked with Kelly Russell, the Financial Aid Office, who explained the difference between the FAFSA application and the DREAM Act application.
The DREAM Act application is, it's called the California DREAM Act application, and it is strictly for students who do not meet the criteria for the federal application. They might meet the criteria for the California application. So to complete the federal application, you have to be, a U.S. citizen or an eligible non-citizen and some other requirements. So a lot of times the students who are completing the California application then are usually the students who are undocumented or don't necessarily meet the citizenship requirements of the federal application.
And what are the documents that students are required to have to fill them out?
Typically, the main ones to have available when you're filling it out is tax returns. So the application for 22-23 uses the 2020 tax returns or income information. So most students are going to be considered, a lot of students, as dependent students, which means they'll need their information and their parents' information. So that's the big one, really, is to have the tax return information available as you're trying to fill out the FAFSA.
And throughout this process, what are some of the events that the Financial Aid Office will be having to help students?
So we do several financial aid workshops to be able to help students fill out the application, because we recognize it is kind of intimidating to fill out. And so we have, right now they are virtual. We're not doing them in person yet again. And so we'll have a couple more this fall semester. We just had one this week, but we'll be having a couple more this semester. And then I think right now have 4 scheduled in the spring. And the best way to find out about those is to follow us on social media.
The deadline to apply for financial aid is March 2nd of next year.
Fresno State Student Union has been under construction for almost 2 years. Let's see how far it's come along. The assembly of the Linda and Stuart Resnick Student Union has been going on since late 2019 and was expected to have been completed by now. Even though the project was delayed earlier this year, significant progress has still been made.
The challenge thus far has been the stop work. That was roughly a little under a year, 9 months to be exact, right around there. Other than that, though, I do think the team, including the design build team as well as the university, has made tremendous progress in really catching up with the schedule.
The new student union is estimated to be completed by next fall. So get ready, Bulldogs. Your newest hangout spot is almost ready to use.
If you have been on campus lately, you can see that there's a heavy amount of maintenance going on. The spray paint on sidewalks along with cones and caution tape are not to disrupt the average college commuter. These are crucial projects like a total replacement of the sewer system that runs through the middle of campus. A new water well is going in on the south side of campus along Shaw Avenue. A lot of ground and grass is torn up, and a lot of trees are coming out. So be cautious with all of this machinery.
It's about a $170 million project that will replace all of our underground hot water and chilled water lines, meaning what heats and cools all of our campus buildings. Right now, many of our, especially our hot water lines are leaking and are of an age that they need to be replaced.
This process will take 36 months, so maintenance at Fresno State will continue long into the future.
Calling all wine lovers, free wine tasting at the Gibson Farm Market will take place every Friday and Saturday until November. Let's check it out. The Gibson Farm Market offers a large array of select Fresno State wines that are harvested just steps away from the market.
They grow it, they harvest it, and then they take it all to the winery. They make the wine. They sell some of those grapes. They make some raisins out of those grapes.
All of the wines are student-made right on the Fresno State campus. Besides the free wine tasting at the farm market, Enology students also host an annual wine club pickup party. The wine club members receive 3 shipments a year and are able to attend this event to try even more wine.
Our tailgates are really popular just because that's the wine that we serve at the football games. And people usually like to have that bulldog on the label, so I would say those ones sell pretty good. Our black labels are also very popular with restaurants. They like to buy those. Again, they like to have Fresno State on their menu.
Many grape seeds are donated from vineyards in Napa, Sonoma, and Amador counties. A portion of all wine sales goes to support Fresno State agriculture. After you pick up your wine from the Gibson Farm Market and go home and try it, and you start to wonder, am I getting notes of Fresno State? That's because Fresno State's wine is harvested right here on campus by students, where they plant these little seeds that will turn into grapes and then it turns into what some may call liquid gold. I think it's time for me to try it myself. Brooke Chow, Fresno State Focus.
Fresno State was the first university in the nation to have a commercial winery on the university campus. Coming up on Fresno State Focus, we bring you the roar from the San Francisco Giants fans, along with tips on how you can stay safe as you trick or treat. Plus, a look into the big Fresno Fair.
Very windy week at the beginning of this week. I'll tell you more about it right after the break.
At Fresno State, being bold means committing to something greater than yourself. It's learning by doing and nurturing leaders to advance our shared future. It's using research to create a better life for those around us and healing those who need us most. These are our stories, because at Fresno State, bold begins here.
Success. At Fresno State, it's no secret. It's discovering new ways to change our world. It's creating opportunities as diverse as our community itself. It's in the distinction of our graduates as they lead us into the future. Success is no secret at Fresno State. It's our mission.
Want to support the American Cancer Society while also picking up a treasure or two? As our Tony Salazar shows us, one local thrift store is donating its proceeds to the Cancer Society.
You know, it's a donation, you get additional protection.
Laura De Santiago gives with her heart.
That I come in every day and that it's helping someone.
She volunteers her time to clean and stock the Discovery Store.
Well, what it means is that my brother died in 2019 of leukemia. And so I get emotional that I come in every day and that it's helping someone, that eventually they'll find a cure for leukemia or for a cancer.
This thrift store in Fresno is filled with all sorts of donated goods, perfect for those who enjoy thrifting.
Well, we have a lot of beautiful home decor. We have items for cooking, entertaining. We have artwork. We have jewelry and shoes and handbags, what women love. And we also have children's and we have men's. But of course, we don't get a lot of men's because, you know, they wear their things until they're ready for the garbage.
Denise Noel started the shop in 1965. She hobnobbed with the Hollywood elite to sell their donated goods and raise money for the American Cancer Society. And for those who are battling cancer, the Discovery Shop has something special.
You need a wig, just come on in. You can pick one out. And if you need another one, absolutely.
What makes this thrift store unique is a portion of their proceeds benefits the American Cancer Society.
The Fresno store is running about 50 to 60% of every dollar that comes in goes back to research, education, and patient programs.
And if you can't make it to the store in person, they also have an eBay store where they sell items like jewelry and as well as an Xbox 360, all while supporting a great cause. Reporting in Fresno, Tony Salazar, Fresno State Focus.
The Discovery Shop is hosting its Couture for a Cure events. They'll showcase high-end designer handbags, clothing, and shoes, all for a great cause. Couture for a Cure is on Thursday, October 28th. Visit FresnoStateFocus.com for more information about this event or the thrift store.
Hello, I'm Noah Chavez with your focus on weather. And you can see behind me, we got beautiful clear skies here at Fresno State. Live shot taking place at the Henry Madden Library. Our first actual clear day in well over 2 to 3 days. Looking at our nationwide satellite, we see that we have a large storm system making its way all the way from southern tip of Texas, moving its way all the way up to northern America, where it's going to be affecting places like North Dakota and Minnesota with heavy rain showers and heavy amounts of snow. Unfortunately for us in the Central Valley, we're going to have actually none of that, as it's going to be fairly clear for the remaining week. As we see, places like Sacramento will have spotty showers, but our Central Valley will be completely bone dry. Looking at our focus on air quality, we see that places like Merced and Stanislaus counties are going to be nice and clean, but unfortunately Fresno will still be at moderate. Looking at today's highs, we look that Fresno is going to be looking at 72 degrees along with the southern parts of the Central Valley. Going into tonight, we're going to be dropping down into 46, and if you pay attention, you see that Shaver Lake is going to be dropping to 33 degrees. That's just 1 degree above freezing, so be cautious if you're making your way out to Shaver Lake. As our extended outlook today, we got 72, 73, and then 81 at the end of the week. That's going to be fun because it's going to be increasing all the way up to the 80s for the weekend and then dropping down to the partly cloudy at 72 and 75. I'm Noah Chavez, and this has been your focus on weather.
The Education and Leadership Foundation in Fresno is helping our communities have access to COVID vaccines through phone calls. The workday starts with a team Zoom meeting, then working from home, they pick up the phone. Helping people make vaccine appointments through the phone or computer can be challenging, but Claudia Torres says she feels happy when it happens.
I like it because when I get them, you'll be proud of me. But it's like not that much, but at least 10, yes. Yeah, and it's been kind of like, and they are helpful. I mean, they are kind of like appreciated, like we are going to go, or because they are kind of like getting sick, so they want to get it right away.
If you haven't received a phone call, you can register for an appointment on the myturn.ca.gov website. Big times are back at the Fresno Fair. Despite the cancellation of the Midland concert, there are lots of other events going on, like the All-Alaskan Pig Racing, and of course, their delicious, famous cinnamon rolls. Our Tony Salazar is live at the Big Fresno Fair to tell us more. Tony?
Hey Brooke, yes, I am live here at the Big Fresno Fair. Joining me right now is Celeste Zavala. She is with the communications here at the Big Fresno Fair. Celeste, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yes, of course.
So one of the things that I want to talk about is the Midland concert. As you know, it has been canceled, unfortunately. Are you guys giving out refunds for that?
Yes, so refunds are being issued automatically to those who had purchased online or by phone, and they can expect it within 3 to 5 business days.
Gotcha. And if you're at home watching this and you were thinking about coming to the Midland concert, not to worry. They also have a variety of different other attractions, such as the Live in Local Marketplace, right? Can you tell me more about that and what can people expect to see there?
Yeah, so once you're on grounds, got to stop by the Live in Local Marketplace. It is basically it's just a storefront, and it has a whole bunch of goodies from local vendors here in Fresno. So definitely got to stop by there.
And then one of the big things they have is everything there is made locally here in the 559 Central Valley, from produce to dairy to jewelry, right?
Yes, you name it, it's there.
Gotcha. And so, and maybe this living local is not your thing. They also have, like I said, other attractions such as the Alaskan pig race is happening today, right?
We do have the Alaskan pig races at 4:30, 6, and 8 o'clock today.
Gotcha. And Celeste, I see something right there. What do you got?
We got our Country Fair cinnamon rolls.
Check this out. We got some fresh baked cinnamon rolls. Celeste, I have to tell you, I've never tried a cinnamon roll here at the Fresno Fair. Last time I came here, I got a funnel cake. So I'm excited to try it. And this one is with cream cheese and pecan. So I'm going to dig in and I'll let you know how it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Ten out of 10. Wow. Oh my gosh, this is so good.
It's good.
I mean, should I even say this is better than the funnel cake I had a few years ago?
I mean, you can.
I mean, what's your favorite dessert item here?
Definitely cinnamon rolls. It varies what my mood is.
You can never go wrong with that. And so one of the things they have here going on just today is special pricing for admission, right?
Yeah, so from 4 to 6, today only, it's $2 entry. So it's basically a happy hour for our fair admission. So come on down and between 4 and 6, spend $2, get into the fair, enjoy it.
Gotcha. And there's already a line out there. I've seen it. It's getting long. So come out here, enjoy the cinnamon rolls, enjoy the free attraction that the Big Fresno Fair is having. And Celeste, thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you for coming out.
I'm reporting live at the Big Fresno Fair. Tony Salazar for Fresno State Focus.
Well, now I'm drooling after seeing that cinnamon roll bite, Tony, and I'm wondering why you didn't eat the whole one on camera, but we'll talk about that later.
Coming up on sports, we hear from football coach Kaylin DeBoer and how players feel about the loss in Hawaii. Also, we meet members of the Fresno Model Railroad Club, a train club that's been around for over 50 years. Plus, we introduce our Focus team members, Tony, Kevin, and Ruby. Stay with us.
Success. At Fresno State, it's no secret. It's discovering new ways to change our world. It's creating opportunities as diverse as our community itself. It's in the distinction of our graduates as they lead us into the future. Success is no secret at Fresno State. It's our mission.
Here in the valley, our colors are blue and our waves are red. Bulldog born and bulldog bred. Generations linked forever by traditions that have stood the test of time. Inside our stadiums, we are one. This is our valley, and this year, we're doing it for you.
At Fresno State, being bold means committing to something greater than yourself. It's learning by doing and nurturing leaders to advance our shared future. It's using research to create a better life for those around us and healing those who need us most. These are our stories, because at Fresno State, bold begins here.
Hi, I'm Lily Gonzalez with your focus on sports. The face-off between the San Francisco Giants and Los Angeles Dodgers is too good to end. Battling throughout the regular season, it now comes down to a pivotal Game 5 in the League Division Series. The prize? A trip to the National League Championship Series and ultimate bragging rights. These teams are fueling diehard fans who are ready for a game of the ages.
We got the momentum. Dodgers are shaking. Home runs, the pitcher, they had good pitchers. John had a good pitcher yesterday. Fun. Have fun. The Dodgers got completely dominated. Kids, look away. Go. Yeah, we're going to throw gang signs. Not you guys. Let me get a Dodgers fan up in here.
Electrical season, the Giants are back in a familiar place. The fans' roar could be heard throughout Oracle Park as they battle LA for a chance to the World Series championship. The Bulldogs were finally able to get a much-needed bye week before their second half of the season starts. Looking back to bounce back from the Dogs' dramatic loss to Hawaii, the team is determined to make it back to the Mountain West Championship game for the first time since their historic 2018 season. Coach Kaylin DeBoer feels his team is ready to move.
I think we've gotten past the weekend and kind of the feelings, and I mean the guys were crushed. There's no doubt about it, and so I think we're back and rolling again, and had a good practice today. So
The Bulldogs will need to shake off the loss to the Rainbow Warriors in order to take the conference championship. As of now, they are ranked 5th in the Western Division. It's a bad week for the Bulldogs with winning streaks as the women's soccer team would fall to their Mountain West rivals. The Dogs' 8-game win streak dating all the way back to September 3rd is over at the hands of their heated rival, the Boise State Broncos. The Bulldogs will be returning home on Thursday to host the San Diego State Aztecs at 7 p.m. Another streak has ended for the Dogs. The women's volleyball team lost to the UNLV Rebels in all 3 sets. The Bulldogs' next matchup will be against the San Jose State Spartans at home on Thursday, and then they will travel to Reno to play Nevada Wolfpack on Sunday. And that's your focus on sports. Back to you, Anna.
Trains never get old for people of any age. Noah Chavez shows us the joy of model trains is still strong in the valley.
With trains everywhere and layouts so massive. No, it's not a museum. It's the Fresno Model Railroad Club of Selma, California. Twice a week, every week, members gather to restore their track layouts. Members of the Fresno Railroad Club are as invested in their layouts as they are their trains. Layouts such as this one have been here for well over 50 years.
We're getting there. It takes a lot of work to do the scenery here.
Jeff Brown is one of the club's oldest members. He has been the head landscaper for 25 years with no signs of slowing down.
The scenery is what really captures my attention because I love doing it, as you can see. And I make all the trees, and I'm trying to teach some of these newbies.
Pastor Dave Thice joined the club 2 years ago and is a proud member.
Came here, and the first time I came here, one of the guys that was here, John, a tremendous fellow, hands me a controller and says, "Here you go, run a train." They were just welcoming, friendly. It was just a great place to be a part of.
And just a reminder that these trains are not toys.
Adult trains, you wouldn't give this to your kid because he'd make dust out of it, and there go $300 or $400 just like that. No, you wouldn't give this to your kid. You can let him watch, but you don't let him play with it.
Members of the Fresno Model Railroad Club always prove one thing. You can never be too old to be young at heart. This is Noah Chavez with Fresno State Focus.
The Fresno Model Railroad Club hopes to complete its main layout restoration within the next year. Those trains are very detailed. I know they're not toys, but I want to play with them, don't you?
Yes, I do, and I'm honestly going to feel bad next time that I get stuck behind a train because I'm just going to think of this story and hopefully I won't be as bitter about it. Art Hop is back this month with more artists, vendors, and food. People walked up and down Fulton Street in downtown Fresno this past Thursday to enjoy this month's first Art Hop night. From spray paint artists to dancers and candle makers, people come together to showcase their talent in this community event. Even some Fresno State alumni have taken on hobbies and made them into small businesses that participate in community events like Art Hop.
I got a bachelor's in art. Right now I'm actually a mental health therapist, but I do specialize in art therapy. So right now I'm selling my prints. So it's a way of kind of still staying with my roots of being an artist.
Well, this is my first time out ever since the pandemic. So it's nice. It's actually nice to be out.
If you missed this last Art Hop, don't panic. Art Hop runs the first and third Thursday of each month.
With COVID cases spiking throughout the country, community events are limited. Lily Gonzalez tells us how you and your family can celebrate safely.
Oh, look, this one's not even scary.
Health officials advise to stay clear of large gatherings. Dr. John Sweifler with the Fresno County Department of Public Health encourages all to place safety first.
You're more likely to come into contact with COVID if you're in high-risk situations, such as if you're in a crowded place, if it's indoors, or if you're around others who are not vaccinated, or if you're around others who aren't masked.
Dr. Sweifler says a costume mask is not enough to keep you safe. Halloween masks are meant to make you look scary, they do not protect you from getting COVID.
Things to keep in mind while you celebrate this year. Keep your COVID mask on over your nose, like that. Select costumes that fit properly to avoid trips and falls. Stick to prepackaged goods, and always keep an eye on your children.
I have anxieties like anybody else, but you know, we can only do so much to protect our kids. But I've kept them inside for the last year and a half. They did distance learning last year. This is a reintroduction back into life and society. I'm willing to let them have it.
There is plenty of fun and fright left to be had. A little creativity is all you need. In Walnut Creek, Lily Gonzalez, Fresno State Focus.
If you decide not to trick or treat, there are still things you can do at home. Watching a Halloween movie, Zooming with friends, or carving pumpkins are all great alternatives.
It's time to meet our Fresno State Focus team. Tony Salazar is a broadcast journalism senior. He enjoys working out in his free time and has a big passion for journalism. Tony works in production for KC24 and is working on his criminology minor and broadcast meteorology certificate. Growing up, the news was always on in his home. He believes that journalism was embedded in him from an early age.
I've done so many fun things pertaining to journalism, you know, even becoming involved in RTDNA and just meeting great, knowledgeable, and passionate people in this, journalism field. It's just amazing, and it makes me even fall more in love with it.
Tony is the president of the Radio Television Digital News Association Club. After graduation, Tony hopes to work as a news reporter.
Now it's time to meet Kevin Hernandez. Kevin is a senior from Really majoring in multimedia production. When Kevin isn't directing, as he is for this show, he works as a student social media content creator for Fresno State. Kevin grew up watching TV and movies, and at the age of 14, he realized production and working behind the scenes was something he wanted to focus on more.
So when I graduate, I plan on taking a break, probably travel a bit, maybe go out of the state, maybe even out of the country. But I also plan on getting a job as a director, maybe locally. Maybe I'll travel maybe to Oregon or Florida, get a job in those markets. So whatever happens, happens, but I look forward to seeing what's next after I graduate.
This semester, we've been fortunate enough to see Kevin in a different role, being in front of the camera. We can't wait to see what Kevin has in store for us next.
And last but certainly not least, let's meet Ruby Roque. Ruby is a senior MCJ major with an emphasis in broadcast journalism who mainly enjoys working behind the scenes as the producer. She's even the producer of today's newscast. In her free time, Ruby loves to read and play with her dogs, Congo, Lucy, and George.
So yeah, I've enjoyed my time producing a lot for Focus, and I think that I want to continue producing for a little while before I end up going to grad school to become a librarian. And I think that's my end goal for life, I guess.
Ruby is on track to graduate at the end of this semester and is making sure that she is enjoying every last second of it. And Ruby, I can feel the same. I'm graduating in May, and I'm trying to soak in every last moment of being a Fresno State Bulldog.
Next week on Fresno State Focus, we visit the 144th Fighter Wing and learn why there are always jets flying overhead at Fresno State.
Plus, what locals have missed most about the big Fresno Fair.
Also, what Hispanic Heritage Month means to students.
Not many people. Thank you for joining us.
We'll see you back next week.